Welcome to Classical Chats. I'm Tiffany, I'm a classical pianist, the host of this series where I talk to all kinds of people who love classical music. I'm also the founder of Together with Classical, which is a nonprofit charity dedicated to you and everyone who loves classical music and in bringing everyone together in our shared passion. Today we have a wonderful guest from Spain. Marta Lozano Molano is a composer, but specifically a composer for social music, and I'm very excited to learn from her what that is and what she does. Hi, Marta.
Hello.
Hey, I love
How are
that
you?
we're both in blue.
Yes, the color of the music.
Yes, no, it's great. I love the background you have. What is that in the background? The
This is
painting.
some paintings that this is my studio where I compose my music, and this makes me very happy
Yeah,
and
no,
inspired.
yeah, it's very interesting. I love it. Cool.
Thank
Okay,
you.
so thank you for coming on to Classical Chat.
My pleasure. My pleasure. Thank you very much.
No, you do so many amazing things, and I think you have a lot to tell our audience. So let's
Okay.
begin with how
Okay.
your journey with music started.
It was a long journey, I have to say, because music it has been always in my life. Since I was a child, I started to play piano when I was 9 years old, and I'm from Spain, so I was living in a small city in a rural area. That is called Extremadura. That is a beautiful place that I recommend to visit. And I started to play piano, and step by step I realized that I was in love with music. And when I was around 18 years old, I had to decide if I wanted to continue studying music, a bachelor, or any other thing. And in Spain, if you want to study music performance, you have to go to the conservatory, because we don't have the music performance in the universities in this country. So I was very sure that I wanted to be in the conservatory and study music, but I wasn't sure if music performance was my way, was the way for me. I wanted something more like more flexible, more creative. What I thought that it was more creative, of course, and I decided to become composer.
Mm.
I studied my bachelor in music composition in the very north of Spain in a beautiful music school named Musiquene. And then I moved to London and I did a master at Guildhall School of Music and Drama, and it was great times there, of course, because London is a great place for young composers.
Yeah.
And when I was there, I was studying, I was working as a full-time composer, composing my music in Spain, in for Europe, for America. I was very happy, and also was combining my job with other kind of jobs. I was conducting a local chorus.
Mm.
I was singing in the London Symphony Chorus, the chorus of the London Symphony Orchestra. It was very inspiring and very educative, because I could learn from very nice orchestras. This is more or less my way when I was studying. And then nowadays, what I do is I'm composer of social music. That is the music that promotes sustainable development.
How do you do that? That was a very interesting term that really stood out to me and also my team. So everyone was like, we have to have her to explain this because it's such an interesting concept. I mean, I'm not sure I completely, because it could mean so many things like social, even the word social,
Yeah.
you've got social media, but that's, a totally different thing. So how
Yeah.
do you translate that and really motivate people to care about sustainable development?
As I said, this kind of music is the music that this is the name that I gave to the work and the music that I do, and is about caring about the sustainability in terms of social, economic, and environmental way of doing things, where the important things are the people and the planet.
Mm.
So what I do is that I compose music that is inspired in the 17 sustainable goals of development of the 2030 agenda of United Nations, that days and years ago they gave like 17 goals where the whole world had to work to fix our world, our society. So
For
what
those who
I
don't know, can you remind us what the 17 are?
there are like 17 difference that are gender equality, climate action, education, preservation of life, zero hunger, reduction of inequalities. There are many, many things that are all related with people, the planet, and the the happiness of the people. To
Yeah.
become a person with all the health and the things that we need to survive. And what I do is that I compose following these principles and these goals. And what I do is music for social transformation. I take a topic and I try to transform the audience and also the performance by listening or by performing the pieces. For example, as you have a strong audience in piano, for example, I have some pieces like, for example, Wanderlust. That is a piece for piano solo for preservation of life below water, for example. I have another that is Stay Strong. That is a piece to promote the reduction of inequalities. For example, this piece is played very often, for example, in events like Gay Pride, women's rights events, these kind of things. I have another one that is Roots, Raíces in Spanish, that is for heritage preservation. So there are different topics that I address with this kind of music. I have to say that I feel very comfortable doing this kind of works because I really feel these little changes in the audience that they, at least for the time where the music is played, at least this time they are reflecting in
Hmm.
society, in their behavior with the world, with the planets, the animals, the nature, everything.
So how did you even came up with the concept of social music? Where did that come from?
It wasn't easy because it was like something very new,
Yeah.
at least for me, for myself. That for me it was like the music for me was like a tool, not like the goal. Is it was a tool for social transformation, and music is a social thing. So I decided to go there. At a certain point of my life, I have been always an activist, a social activist, and a certain time of my life, I had to join both sides. It was like I had two personalities, and
Mhm.
no, I only have one, and I had to sum all of them, and I started to compose only social music. I don't write any other music that is not pursuing this social development. So as I work in my daily life, not only as a composer but also as an activist, I co-founded a non-profit organization. The music is in all the works that I do. So I write music for award raising campaigns. For example, by means of choral singing, I promote the empowerment of women. So this is something that it was in my life. So find this way for me was very, very easy.
Yeah, it makes sense. It's a very organic way of combining the two things that you care about, music and
Mm.
also social issues. So, how has it been like during this time in pandemic? I mean, you're currently where
Mm.
right now?
I'm in
You're in
Spain.
Spain,
In
right?
Spain.
Yeah, and that was, one of the first places to have such a huge impact. So, what has it been like the past, I suppose, 7 months, 8 months?
It's hard. It's hard because when you are in a depressed area, everything is more difficult. It's more difficult. So we are having many issues in these places, but we continue working. The point is that we have changed a little bit the focus. We are working to face the digital gap that in rural areas there are problems with internet. The people is not so skilled with digital technologies, so we are working in this way. Now it's difficult. I'm in a town named Almendralejo, and it's closed. We can't go out, but we can't leave the town. So it's like difficult times
Yeah, how do
to
you
work.
still find the inspiration to continue working and still making social music in these times, especially?
In fact, these times gives you even more inspiration, because you can see the difficulties, the challenges that you have to face. And also it's very inspiring how the people are reuniting and working together, cooperating, so I feel that I'm very useful here at the moment, because as I said before, I was studying in London, and I was what I consider a successful career, and I decided to return here and support my community and give back what my community gave to me. So I returned, and now that I'm here, I continue working, and I'm happy with the work that I do. It's difficult, it's not always easy, but I'm happy with it.
Yeah, that's very kind of you to really want to give back so much to your community. That's really inspiring. You have so many different experiences, and you had such
Yeah.
a successful career, and still, I'm sure you do with social music. What do you think you've learned from that? Not previous life, but just very different experiences. What have you learned from those that you find yourself finding useful now with social music?
what I have learned many things that I think as a creator, as a composer, are very important. You have to have different experiences and to learn from very inspiring people. And what I have learned mostly is that the most important things are people and the planet, of course. Learn that we have to take care of each other and be responsible with our community, with our society. I think that this is the most important thing, because in a life of a activist or a social music composer, you work in your daily life with people from very different backgrounds, like very very skilled people that are very very low skilled, and all of them have something to give you, have something to offer you. So I think that in music, this is something that people really love. It's like something magical, no? That musicians can make this kind of magic with the music, and all of them appreciate it. And also in my composition, sometimes I write like very avant-garde music, like very contemporary, and sometimes I write music that is like more comprehensible for all kind of audience, so all kind of people and all kind of audiences can learn from the message that they want to transmit.
Hmm. I guess that's really beautifully said. I guess to go a little bit more on the practical sense, what is it like on a typical day of your work as a composer for social music? How does it look like? Is there like some typical things that you find yourself doing a lot of the days that's maybe a little bit different than if you weren't uh, composing specifically social music? Because it seems like different kinds of people are very much involved in your process. So just wondering what that is like.
Is every day is different.
Yeah, of course.
The What I had to learn was that, in the previous times it was like, I have to compose, I need like 1 week only for this, and please don't disturb me. I have to write music. And nowadays I understand that they have to do many things. So maybe I compose for 1 hour, and the following 2 hours I have to be like working in digital gap with old women, for example, and I have to teach how to use Zoom or how to connect to the Wi-Fi. And the following hour I'm connected by Skype or any other platform to make an international program for the European Commission for to promote the entrepreneurship in composers. And the following hour I write other kind of music for other projects. So it's like very very exciting work, because it's very very different, and I had to learn like how to work like quickly, because you have to do many things. So for me, that I for example I write music for awareness raising campaigns, like for example prevention of violence against women. I'm in the whole creative process of the campaign, of the audiovisual campaign, in the recording, in the composition, of course, in the recording of the music, in the filming, in the preparation with people, in the writing of the text that they are going to speak. So it's very exciting and very busy.
Yeah, no,
now,
thank you.
now with the quarantine, we don't travel too much. I can travel, because we are like here, we can't move too
Yeah.
much. But I travel a lot and I speak a lot the whole day.
And you're a great speaker. I mean, it's been very
Thank
inspiring to hear your answers to my not so perfectly phrased questions. But thank you so much for just having the time to come on. I know you have
you. My
so many
pleasure.
things to do. One last thing is if you could give one piece of advice to any aspiring composers, what would it be? I know you said a lot about caring about people and about the planet, and just it seems like passion for those things have really driven your
Hmm.
work. So, what else is there? If there's one piece of advice you could give to composers,
I know that it sounds like a cliche, but is follow your voice. Find your own voice, because what is beautiful about being a composer is be yourself. So right now with this social music, I feel like very comfortable. I have to work hard, of course, because always you have to work hard and keep striving, as you said, and work, go for it, don't be afraid, and try to design your projects, your music projects, or whatever you want to do, and try to find the way to do it. For example, now for me, I'm working in a project that makes me very happy, that finally after many years I can make it. That is a crowdfunding campaign of social music, that is a composition and piano method for social music. So I can help to other composers and pianists to become social music composers. And this is something that makes me very happy, because for years and years I have been working to create a composition method like in a very different way. And after many years, now it's here, and I'm very happy for this. So this is what makes me happy. But if any other person have any other thing that makes her or he's happy, go for it. Doesn't matter what it is, go for it.
that's a great point to end this chat with. Thank you so much. Just go for it. I love that. Thank you, Marta, for joining in, and thank you for watching this episode. If you've been enjoying classical chats, please don't forget to subscribe and maybe even tell your friends about it. Because the more people we have here on this YouTube channel, the more exciting it is for people to come on to share about their passion and their journeys. So, I hope you click that button. Thank you so much. See you soon.